This is an 8-iron, and it's a dead shank.
Wow.
Way right.
Oh, takes a hop off the path.
You gotta be kidding me. Very tough pitch shot right here. You gotta hit it into the hill, one hop up and bite, and it's in.
Kind of like that.
Well, I would like to welcome back to the Sub 70 podcast, now a 10-time winner on the PGA Tour Champions and the recent winner of the Insperity Championship and the Mitsubishi Electric Classic, Scott McCarron. Welcome back, and well done, sir. Fine play of late.
Well, thanks, Jason. We're having a lot of fun out here on the PGA Tour Champions.
10 wins has a pretty good ring to it.
It does. I'm still kind of shocked. 10 wins, 3 years. It's just been so much fun being out here in the PGA Tour Champions. To have kind of a new lease on your golf life at 50 is pretty special. Not many other sports, really no other sports, you get to keep playing into this age of 50, and so that just makes golf so special.
Looking at it, are you playing, even on your PGA Tour career, are you playing some of the best golf you've ever played in your life at this point?
Well, I think so. And a lot of that comes, I spoke with Hale Irwin. It was actually after my first Regions tournament that I'm playing this week. I took Hale out to dinner. I played in the final group and had a chance to win here and didn't get it done. I hadn't won out here yet. And Hale had told me that he felt he played some of his best golf from 50 to 53 in his whole life. And I thought, you know what, if he can do that, I can do that. And so, I've kind of set myself up to, hey, keep grinding, keep practicing, keep playing, eat right, exercise, and see if we can give ourselves the best opportunity. And so far, I'm playing some pretty good golf over the last couple of years.
Earlier this season, before it kind of got into full swing, you guys were playing an event or two, then a few weeks off. Were you working on anything different, or is it just fine tuning at this point to kind of get the year that you're starting off, which is amazing? But was there any changes you sort of made, or is it just grinding on the same stuff?
No changes. I've been working with my teacher E.A. Tischler for about 5 years now. We kind of work on, the same stuff, a lot of posture, a lot of setup, getting my right arm under, delivering the club on the downswing, and then posting and posturing up. So pretty much the same stuff that we worked on the first time we worked together 5 or 6 years ago. We still keep working and fine-tuning those things. I'm trying to get better with the wedge play, taking spin off a little bit. I got a flight scope about 3 weeks ago. Then that's, starting to learn some stuff about flight scope and ball spin and launch conditions, all that stuff. So that's been kind of fun little toy to play with. But, other than that, nothing new, nothing special. Just been just grinding it out and, trying out here, you try to get yourself in position, with 9 holes to play and then see what happens. And so I've been having some good success over the last couple of weeks, just getting myself in position.
You kind of touched on this earlier with Hale Irwin, who's the gold standard, and so is Bernhard Langer. And my question was sort of revolving around, and I guess you put both those guys in the same league. With Langer, to be this consistent for this long, he still won this season. Just from watching from afar, assuming you're let's say you're going to be competitive for the next 10 years still, realistically. What do you learn from watching Bernhard and those guys who have done it for that period of time, beyond your 50 to 55, to keep doing it into your 60s like he's doing? Just from watching those guys, what have you sort of taken away of how to be competitive still at that point in time in your career?
Well, I've actually learned a lot from watching and playing with Bernhard Langer over the last couple of years. He's a guy that doesn't do anything flashy. You wouldn't look at him and go, oh, he's just an incredibly long driver, or his short game is the best I've ever seen, or his putting is the best. But he does everything really, really well. The other thing is he takes apart a golf course. The way he plays his practice rounds, the way he diagrams what he's going to do, his game plan on golf courses, is unlike anybody else. I mean, he hardly ever short sights himself hitting into a green. He's always missing it in the correct spot. He's avoiding any type of bunkers that you might not be able to get out of, or you have to play safe from. He's always just kind of taking apart a golf course, very mechanical, very methodical. And again, he plays some really good golf, gets himself in position, and he doesn't make many mistakes. And that's the thing with Bernhard. He kind of waits for the other guy to beat himself. Langer's never going to make mistakes do that. You got to go beat him without making mistakes. And I think I've learned a lot just from watching him. And the other thing is, when he's playing well, even if he misses a shot, it does not bother him. He does not get bothered by good shots or bad shots. Very even keel. He's a lot of fun to play with. He's got a great personality. I've really enjoyed getting to know Bernhard better over the last 3 or 4 years. He's become a good friend.
Is it one of those guys when you play with it, you don't really notice it till you look at the scorecard and go, "Oh, there's 66," where it just looks like you just methodical, like right? You're just kind of like, "Okay, all right."
Very methodical, very methodical. It's not like playing with Dustin Johnson or Bubba Watson or Rory or Tiger, where I would watch their shots and I'm like, "Oh my God, I could never hit that shot." Langer doesn't hit any shots that I would go, "I can't hit that." He just hits it in the correct spot time and time again. It's very impressive. I think he's one of the most, underrated, if you could even say that now, players that's ever lived. This guy has been playing so good for so long.
Let's talk about your victory at TPC Sugarloaf. I don't recall seeing conditions on the Champions Tour look like that for a while. It looks like you guys were in a tournament in North Dakota or something like that. How hard is it to keep focus when the conditions are that tough and it's that cold and blowing that hard, or is that just where years of experience on tour just kicks in? You're a professional, you handle it like a professional and move on.
Well, yeah, that's the key, is to handle it like a professional and move on. I've always kind of played some of my best golf when the conditions were tough, and I've won a few tournaments at that golf course, TPC Sugarloaf, when the conditions were tough. We had very windy conditions, cold, and I won in 97, and then we had 36 holes on a Sunday, very cold, windy, when I won in 2001. So I've kind of been there, done that at that course. But the biggest thing is staying patient, because you're going to hit some bad shots, you're going to get some bad breaks, the wind's going to gust at the wrong moment, and you can't let it bother you. I always felt like playing in those type of conditions, you've already kind of beat half the field, because half the field might get off to a bad start and kind of pack it in. So if I can just stay patient, and just stay positive, that you're going to have an opportunity to have a good tournament.
Major season is upon us for you guys. Regions Traditions this week at Greystone Golf and Country Club. Assessment of the golf course, does it set up well for your game? Sort of your thoughts going into this week.
Yeah, Greystone is a golf course that I like. I've played in the final group a couple times here, and I think I've got a couple top 5s and top 10. So I felt like I let a couple slip away earlier in my career here, but it's a golf course that I put myself in position with 9 holes to play, and that's kind of all you can ask for out here. And I'm looking forward to it. It's got some par 5s that you can be aggressive on. It's got some really good holes. Greens are usually pretty fast and the rough's up, so it starts to play more like a major. We get some great crowds out here. Regions does a phenomenal job at this tournament, our first major of the year, and I'm really excited to get out there and play.
Another one I can't wait to see, just because it's so historic, is Senior PGA Championship at Oak Hill. I mean, great golf course, historic venue. That golf course to me would really suit your game, as it's a ball striker's golf course. How excited are you to get to that iconic track and play a major championship as well?
That's what's so cool out here, is to be able to go back to some of these old golf courses that we played on the PGA Tour days. I played the PGA Championship there when Sean McKeel won. And I think, if I remember correctly, I actually played pretty good. I might have had a top 20 or something like that. But I know I was in, close to the last couple groups going in. It's a great golf course. And at the time, I thought it was one of the hardest golf courses I've ever played, until I played Bethpage Black. But Oak Hill was just tough golf course. You got to drive the ball in the fairway. A lot of undulations in the fairways, sloping left to right, right to left, and just visually intimidating golf course. So looking forward to getting back there.
Does your routine change much during the week of a major championship versus a regular week, or does it stay pretty much the same week in, week out, or is there a little bit more emphasis on this week of really being prepared and being ready to go?
It's interesting. The only thing you might do at a major championship is make sure you're well rested. One, we play 4 rounds in the majors as opposed to the 3 rounds. You can get a little tired if you've come in Sunday night and play Monday, play Tuesday, play Wednesday, and then all of a sudden, you got 4 more days in the golf. So one of the things just is to be rested. I think rest, sleep is some of the most critical things out here on our tour, on the Champions Tour, and on the PGA Tour. So you got to be rested. I have my workout routines I do. I have to, try to figure out how to get a strength one in just 2 or 3 days as opposed to 4 days that I have kind of off. But other than that, the routine really doesn't change too much.
Any scouting report on the Warren Golf Club at Notre Dame for the U.S. Open for you guys? I don't know a whole lot about the golf course. Will you try to get out there a little bit earlier at all, or will you just sort of take it all in the week you get there, and what have you heard on that one?
Yeah, I've heard the golf course is fantastic. A couple guys went up there and played last year and said it's absolutely phenomenal. So I'm looking forward to getting up there and playing it. I won't go beforehand, so we'll be there on Monday scouting the golf course and trying to get ready for that. But I hear the golf course is just fantastic. And, I mean, how cool is that? We get to stay right on campus at Notre Dame and kind of walk to the golf course, so that'll be a lot of fun.
After this run of majors, getting ready for the Charles Schwab Cup, that sort of final push, will you be taking some time off, or do you just have to keep the pedal down this year as into that late summer season as you kind of get to that point, or do you got to recharge the batteries a little bit because you guys have a lot of golf coming up here in the next couple months?
Well, we do have a lot of golf coming up. I might take an event off in July and just kind of take some time off. We've got a stretch where we play. We've got 1 week off or 2 weeks off, then the British Senior, and then another 2 weeks off. I might take the British off and have the whole month of July off, just to kind of recharge and get ready for the rest of the season.
There's always talent coming out on that tour. Some of the new guys who are out there finally full-time this season, they kind of had their start last year a little bit late, but Darren Clark, Goossen's out there this year. DiMarco's playing full-time. How have you enjoyed the newer guys being out there? And it seems like the level of competition that comes out every year, the standard is still just some really solid players coming out there on a real competitive tour.
Well, absolutely. I mean, those guys are great additions to our tour. We've got U.S. Open champion, British Open champion, almost, Masters champion, and Chris DiMarco. If it wasn't for Tiger, he won too. And those guys are great additions to our tour. They're a lot of fun. Darren is just an absolute character. He's the guy you want to be standing next to in the Pro-Am pairings party. I mean, the stories he tells, he is just absolutely hilarious. Goose still hits it as far as he ever does. I mean, the guy is just a machine out there. And DiMarco, his game hasn't quite there as when he stopped playing, but he didn't play for a lot of years, so he's just kind of getting back into it, and his game's starting to round out. And I'm sure he's going to be successful here pretty soon.
Yeah, why do I have a feeling DiMarco is all of a sudden just going to get it, and he's going to run off as well as he putts it and as good as his short game is? Why do I have a feeling he's going to just all of a sudden, boom, and he's going to run off some wins? Yeah,
you got to look at DiMarco's career on tour. I mean, that guy was just an ATM machine. He was a money-making machine, like a Scott Hoke. So, Chris is he didn't play for years. He was working for Golf Channel and took all that time off and didn't play competitive golf at all. That's very difficult to come out here on the PGA Tour Champions without being ready to play tournament golf again. It takes a little time to kind of get back into it. And, Chris is just starting to round out. And I think once he kind of figures out tournament golf again, he's going to be just fine.
Well, best of luck to you this week. Good luck with the run at the majors. And like I said, congratulations on the start to this year. It's just some fantastic golf. So I appreciate your time, and we'll hopefully be talking to you after a few more wins.
Thanks, Jason. Keep up the good work. We'll talk to you soon.